And last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over what I think should be buffed and nerfed because I don't know. Everybody's like, "Oh, these guys are too strong. These guys are too weak." So I'm just gonna go over what I think needs to be done to make things a little bit more even. First of all, I think Dengar's fine. Everybody's like, Dengar needs a passive. It's like, I think he'd be too broken then. 4-alarm's a beast. Like, he's not in the greatest spot, but I don't think you can change it without making him really OP. So we'll just leave him as he is. Fader, I think, is really good, in a good spot. He's not OP or anything right now. He's not too underpowered. Emperor, like I was saying before, he he has really good DPS. Like, all his special ability, his skill do a lot of damage. But he's a little too squishy, so I think rather than buffing him, I think they should buff his unique, which they kind of did. But I think they should make it have a little bit more health. And then I think he'd be in a great spot. Grand Inquisitor, I think he gets hurt a lot by the new Vader. Because why run Grand Inquisitor when you can run Vader? He's fast and nice and everything, but he's all about DPS and he's melee, so he can get in trouble sometimes. Doesn't have any utility. And brother, I don't know. He's decent, but his throw kind of screws him up. Like, it doesn't do that much damage, and then he stop. Usually, what happens is he stops in like tower range, and then he throws it, and then where he should just run up. So, I think he should throw his lightsaber and then like dash towards it and do AOE that way. I think that'd be a lot better, but that's basically changing who he is. So I don't know if they'll do it. Tarkin, I think he's in a good spot. I know people hate him, but and, like, you run into him a lot, but I think he's fine. He's not too obnoxious. One thing is I think he does 500% damage. Like, I don't think this is right. So it's a little off, but kind of needs it to deal with tanks and stuff. So I think he's fine. His unique's fine. It's in a good spot. It's not as good as Forlomp, but the stun's pretty nice if you're really good at it. And he's just a nice body for 2. Thrawn's doing work. Kind of gets wrecked by the boomerang guys, but I think a lot of good Throns have figured out to stun him. Or net. So I think Thrawn's in a good spot. 40th Fader, I know everybody hates him. Running around. He's like, the problem is he's super fun to play and he's pretty strong. They nerfed his health and his special ability patch ago, which I didn't really think it was needed. I think what they have to do is they have to change his damage. Like, reduce his damage a little bit so his AoE attacks aren't as obnoxious and his skills not as obnoxious. I think that helps out a lot. There's Boba, who I think got a nice buff. With Slave 1, he's doing work. I think he's still kind of middle of the pack for 1v1, but 2v2 is going to be sick. Bosk. I think he's in the same boat as Emperor, where they just need to buff IG-88. They need to give IG-88 back all his punch, and then he'll be fine. Because they nerfed him a lot. Callus, I think he's still strong. Some people are like, no. They took away his damage on his ability, but I always think Callus was more of a control guy, and his damage was super obnoxious as well. So Callus is about controlling the field, and like, he's got decent AoE, he's got a nice stun. So I think he's actually a pretty good spot. But Krennic, I think is really strong. Like, his unique kind of sucks unless you have him higher level. Which I think a lot of people complain about, but don't realize like how it's set up. So the problem is if you end up going against like a level 5 or 6 DSL, they just destroy. Which I don't know if a lot of people do, but it's kind of the way they changed it so that the 10%, it just makes it weird for him. But Krennic is still really good. His ability is super strong. His shooting. and then it comes up very often. So I think Krennic is really good, especially with the new unit. You'll probably see a lot more Krennic. You can just hide behind it and just blast people, which is nice. Seventh Sister. She's one of those that if you can take advantage of her skill, she's super good. But a lot of people know just you pop Boomerang down when she goes in and kind of just wrecks her. So I think she's in a good place. Some people think she's OP, but I never really have any problems with her. You gotta make sure you have an AoE ready for when she comes in with her droids. And you gotta make sure she never has 3 up at a time. But other than that, like she's pretty decent. So I think she's in a good spot. I don't think there's any units for Empire that need to be nerfed or buffed. Well, there's a few that need to be buffed. But I think they're kind of in a good spot now. Especially with that droid, so you have a few options now. Run a few decks. Most uniques are okay. I don't know about Yogar. He's a little weird, but people use him. Seem to be doing alright. We'll go to Empire, or Rebels, sorry. Gonna have we'll start with Han. I think Han, for his mind just is still obnoxious. I don't know why they changed it so it has a delay. They just basically need it so its AoE isn't as big. Like, it's just such a huge range on it. It's kind of crazy. I really like Chewie. I think he's fine. I think Lando's in a good spot. He's really tough to use, but if you know how to use him, he's really good. Leia, I think people are figuring out Leia is actually pretty decent now with Bantha, and her skill is actually really strong. I still think they need to give her a little bit more damage, because she does like no damage whatsoever. But other than that, I think you'll see a lot more Leias coming around soon. Sabine, I don't know. Sabine's in a weird spot. Like, good people can play her really well, but she's super squishy. She's really hard to play, and Finn doesn't really help out as much. Like, he's a decent guy. He's a decent body, but he should do more. So I think Sabine could use a little bit of a health buff. Because her Darksaber can just screw you over so hard. Because, like, you go into melee, you get stunned, you get, like, CC'd, and then you're just basically dead. Cassian. Everybody hates Cassian. I think he's actually in a decent spot. The nerf to Pathfinders kind of hurts him a little bit. Problem is, if you nerf him anymore, he's going to be just useless. If you're going to do anything, maybe K2 health. Actually, K2's damage. K2's damage is ridiculous. But I wouldn't really touch Cassian. Bodhi, who I think is the best hero right now, is just absurd. Like, you basically get his special ability basically makes it so you have better cards. And he can just do whatever he wants. So many different things. U-Wing's really good. Skill. Basically, if you're smart, you never die. You have health packs galore. Bodhi needs a nerf, I think. I think maybe lowers damage or something. But he's too strong right now as he is. He's the best hero by far. Everybody's like, oh, 40 Vader. But Bodhi by far is the best. Luke, I think he's fine now. Like, he's got kind of nerfed, but he's still strong. Ezra's so weird right now, because I was gonna talk with him with 40 Luke. The problem is 40 Luke does everything Ezra does, but better. But with fan buff, it might not be so bad anymore. He'd be a really good diver. Special ability's a little hard to use, but he's better than he was. He could still use a little buff. I don't like his. The problem is, like, you have 40 Luke who can shoot like Jin, right? But Ezra just shoots randomly when he's attacking, so it's kind of dumb. So I think the problem with Ezra is 40 Luke. It's Kind of like Grand Inquisitor. It's like, why would you use Grand Inquisitor if you have 40 Vader? But Fen buff helps him, so you might see a little bit more of him. Baze. Baze. Baze is such a weird spot. Like, I think Baze is actually okay as he is. The problem is his special ability with Sharut. The problem is Sharut is pretty shitty unique. So basically, what I think you have to do for Baze is you gotta buff Sharut. I'll get to that in a minute. Jin. I think Jin's in a great spot. Pal's decent. Special ability's decent. Skill's a little obnoxious, but she's squishy enough that you can take advantage of her. And she counters the playstyle of just sitting back, so some people don't like her, but I think she's fine. She's still pretty strong. Hera's fine, I think. She might be a little too strong, but I think she's fine. Chopper's more the ability, strong part about her, especially with the new unit. So we'll see how that goes. And I really like 40 Luke, but he needs more damage. Like, you can like whack it at a tower forever and it does hardly any damage. Either that or have his special ability do 20% damage to turrets too. But other than that, I think he's fine. The units I think are all okay except for Boomerang Guy. Boomerang Guy's just obnoxious. Too much health, too much damage, just too strong all around. You're gonna have to nerf him eventually, but not this time. And Pathfinders, I think they're super strong, but I think Rebels need it. Like, these two are the strongest units in the game right now, not including like legendaries and uniques. I don't mind this because they're not as strong, but this guy's just obnoxious. Uniques, basically, I think K2, his damage is stupid. He attacks so fast. Maybe lowers attack speed a little bit. Evan's just a body. She's alright. Maybe give her a little bit more health, a little bit more damage. Be fine. Kanan. Actually, I don't mind him right now. I think he's okay. Maybe give him a little bit more health, a little bit more damage for 3. Ewing's fine. Bodhi, I think, more is the problem. Kenobi, I think, is underrated. I think he's really good now. But who knows? With the new droid, he might not be as good. So we'll have to see. Nub Nub. Nian Nub. I think he's actually really good. I don't know why people don't use him more. He's a cheap body, does the AoE. He's tough to kill with melee. We'll see. Chopper's super good now. So you have to watch out for him. But I don't think he's like he makes up for a little weakness in hair, so I think it's fine with Chopper right now. Fen, I don't know. I think his rocket needs to do more damage. And he needs to do more damage overall, and then I think he's fine. Pow, I think, is in a good spot. Nice little tank. Gets more damage with Jin. Slows people down. It's nice. And here's the big guy. I think the problem is only Luke and Hera really mesh with their unique as much as Sharut and Baze. But they don't depend so much on Sharut. Or, like, Chopper, you get a little extra energy, you get a faster recharge time. It's not a big deal. Like, if you can't get it out, whatever. But Chopper's also super cheap to get out. And Kenobi for Luke, it's not even that big of a deal. Most of the time, if Kenobi dies after Luke dies anyways. Biggest thing is, like, Baze needs that attack speed. So really, I think Sharut should be the best unique in the game. One of the biggest problems with Sharut is you just kite him forever. Like, I think it should almost be like once he locks onto something, he shoots it no matter like if they run away or not. So then he's not just kited forever. Which is really stupid for a 4 energy guy. But he also needs a health buff and an attack damage buff. And then I think Baze would be fine. Like, you gotta make Sharut one of the best uniques in the game. And I think it's fine at 4 energy. but you need to make him do way more tankier and way more damage. Because if you look at Shrewd and then you look at Fifth Brother, say, I think I have them both at level 2. So like 1300 health, 143 at 1.2. You go to Brother, who has 200 more health and basically the same amount of attack DPS because he attacks super quick. This guy also taunts and does an AoE as well. So it's kind of ridiculous, and it's like Seventh Sister doesn't rely on him at all. So Shrewd needs at least like 1500 health and way more damage. So that's my thoughts on what should be nerfed and buffed and stuff. Also my thoughts on 1.7. So sorry, this is my first YouTube video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't go on too long or anything. Hopefully I will be better at editing stuff, and I will make videos better in the future. I know this one probably ran on a little bit too long. I will be trying to make a tier list pretty soon. I have one written up on my Twitch channel if you want to check it out, but it's not a lot of detail in it, so I'll try and come up with more detailed stuff. Also, like I was in the Kyber Cup last month, and I should have posted videos on here, but I didn't even think about it. So like if I'm ever in tourneys again, I'll post those videos. And depending on how editing goes and stuff, I might just take clips from my Twitch streams and put them here. Or I might just do certain decks and play 3 or 4 games and show you guys, depending on how it goes. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, come over and watch me on Twitch. I stream most days, mostly at night, usually like 7 p.m. Pacific. Usually I'm on for sure like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then probably Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Sometimes I have to skip depending on life situations, but come on, check me out. Shoot me a follow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys later.